Thank you very much to the EA Creator Network for the code for this game. Immortals of Aveum is the newest EA original game title, developed by Ascendant Studios. Now, I've seen advertisements all over Twitch, and I've been very excited to check this game out. It starts off with a quote talking about the state of the world, with armies and magic-wielding soldiers fighting the Everwar, and a surrender to the main villain! Only to find out that it's a play and you and your friend are trying to loot during it. It's a really clever way to give a story background while still giving this natural world building. You play as a boy named Jack, who's kind of a jokester, and his friend who you find is going to be joining the army to fight against the forces of evil. You follow her around the city, which gives me kind of BioShock Infinite vibes of a mix of both showing and telling you about their situation and how challenging life is where they are and how the rest of their kingdom view people from their town. After meeting the rest of the crew, you learn more about the fight that's going on and how it actually might be closer than you initially think. Now, being a Battlemage is not easy, and it's part shooter, but also part puzzle in terms of gameplay. And you can wield 3 different kinds of magic. Red, which is more aggressive, and you start with a shotgun-like blast. Blue, which is more precise, think semi-auto charges, and green, which is rapid fire like an SMG. The way that these are described to you show the 3 different types of magic and how they can be wielded. And Jack is a rare type of person who can cycle through all 3 of these different magic using different sigils or battle gauntlets that help him use this magic. You also learn about totems, which are like items, the first being a whip that lets you pull enemies closer, or, if you're close enough, over a ledge. And also there are spells that use mana that allow you to manipulate the world around you. And in the beginning, learning about the combat and spells, I would say the pacing is perfect between allowing the player to learn about these mechanics and how they fit into the world, plus allowing the player to practice and see how to use these different abilities, giving the player a chance to explore between story objectives, and also giving the player access to a lot right in the beginning of the game. Sometimes games make you learn these different skills very slowly, kind of takes a while, and you feel a little bit hampered, but you feel like you have all the tools that you need just in the first hour. You just need experience using them all, which is exactly like Jack in the game. He has all the tools, he just needs time to learn how to use them properly. The voice acting is really well done from the first few hours that I played. The interactions seem very natural, and there was a really good rapport with people who should be close, but you could also feel that like tension and unease and distrust from characters who were newly introduced to each other. But you also observed those characters get a little warmer, more familiar with each other as they spent more time together. There are actually really funny parts too because of the dialogue, which I feel can sometimes be a hit or miss in games, because sometimes it comes off as either genuine or corny, and luckily I found the dialogue in Kingdoms of Aveum to be the former.
Option A was to kill me?
Don't mistake my attention here for an endorsement into the order, Jack. You'll put in the time, on the front lines, like everyone else.
How much time are we talking?
The gameplay is fun and you can be creative with it. Do you want to just sit in the back lines and snipe? Do you want to get up close and personal? Do you want to be hectic, bopping around and switching magic styles? You want it, you got it. And I like that you can have that freedom. There are also gear upgrades that you can find and buy as well as improve, and you can learn new skills to make areas available to you that you could not initially when you first discovered them. I would say if there's any area for improvement, it might be the graphics, but only in some spots. Now, I think the main character animations are really well done. The cutscenes are beautiful, but sometimes the world is not as strong visually. There were no big glitches, but some animations needed to load because I cut ahead of the person I was supposed to follow. Some of the sceneries when I was traveling to the goal destination felt a little stock, but as the game progressed, I didn't feel like that continued, and frankly, I don't need insane levels of detail in areas that I'm moving through quickly, because in Immortals of Aveum, the gameplay and story are incredibly strong and should be the main focus in my opinion. I will say that there was one scene where I saw that I could manipulate a statue to help create a bridge, and I had to stop and appreciate what I just saw. I thought the animation was like really beautiful. It kind of changed my expectation of what I was going to see. I'm excited to play through more of Immortals of Aveum and see more of the story and how they incorporate more fun gameplay elements, and how they fit these elements into the theme of the world, because they've already done that very well in just the first few hours. I'm really curious to know what this war is about, why the world is so damaged, and how Jack and his new colleagues will fit into all of this. Definitely give this game a chance if you like first-person shooters, and also if you're a fan of stories that aren't afraid to try new things. I feel like all too often we see a lot of feedback online about people wanting new experiences rather than just annualized titles or, similar games or sequels. Well, this is it, and I'm enjoying my time so far. I wouldn't recommend this game for younger kids or to even have them in the room while you're watching. Because of the combat and the subject matter, this is definitely for older kids and adults. Immortals of Aveum releases on 8/22/2023 on PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, and PC storefronts. Master your magic and help Jack and the Immortals save Aveum and end the Everwar.